So guys, I tested Moskva's damage after maxing her out, and I'm going to be sharing the results with you. For light armor damage, Regensburg meta is pretty convenient since she doesn't have anything weird defensively, just a really big HP pool. Some of the other permanent light armor bosses like Helena and Jinsu take more damage later in the fight, which is not a huge issue when not testing a ship with some sort of ramping damage buff, but Regensburg's environment definitely makes it more straightforward. Against medium armor, I chose Nezuno meta since she has no planes to add to the end-screen results. As for the comparisons, the main one is going to be Hindenburg, who is currently the highest damaging vanguard against both light and medium armor. When I looked at Moskva's numbers on release, I estimated her damage to be close to, but not quite Hindenburg's level, so let's take a look and see if I vibed out her damage numbers accurately, or there was something in her kit that I missed. For the Regensburg meta runs, I used the relatively standard fleet of Lion plus the USS carriers, Eldritch to keep the Vanguard alive consistently, and Aurora. Then the last slot would be the ship that I was testing at the moment. This fleet with William D. Porter in the last slot is able to consistently one-shot the boss, but it consistently falls short when replacing her with a damage dealer. Some of these ships like Lion and Aurora increase the damage dealt by the ships I'm testing, but not in a biased way in favor of one ship or another, so for the sake of this comparison, it should be fine. In terms of the equipment, I gave Hindenburg 2 plus 13 Unzen guns and a Fumo radar for the most relevant stuff, and then I gave Moskva an Unzen gun and a plus 13 Mogador gun as her secondary, a Fumo radar, and also a dynamic cannon on top instead of a rudder, because she's actually bulkier than Hindenburg while using no rudders, so this is the way you'd probably want to use her for damage only. Looking at the results, Hindenburg actually surprised me quite a bit with the amount of damage she was dealing. And Moskva did quite a lot less damage even with the extra offensive auxiliary, so the difference would be even bigger if they had the same auxiliaries. I also tested Taiyuan and she also outperformed Moskva slightly, but she also ended up being a lot lower than Hindenburg than I remembered. Maybe it's because I'm using Aurora, so the difference in their accuracy is a lot less pronounced, meaning Taiyuan's advantage in the accuracy department is diminished. I also did the same test with St. Louis because I never found out how exactly she compares to the DDGs, and it seems like she's the worst of the bunch. When I did feature her, I ran her alongside Richelieu and Alsace most if not all of the time, so she did look a lot better than she actually is. Comparing within rarities, Hindenburg deals more damage against light than Moskva, who is more tanky, and then Taiyuan deals more damage than St. Louis, who is more tanky, so the trade-offs are pretty fair. Then, against medium armor, I had them both together this time with healers in the main fleet. I couldn't really do this against Regensburg meta since I don't have 3 Unzen guns for the 2 of them. Once again, Moskva had 2 offensive auxiliaries to the 1 of Hindenburg. This time, the results were much closer, with Moskva actually coming out ahead by a much smaller margin than their difference against light armor. This is mostly due to Moskva's barrages, which are a significant portion of her damage, being a lot stronger against medium than light armor. There is basically no difference when accounting for the fact that Moskva also has the slightly stronger gun, and if the gun was given to Hindenburg instead, then the gap would be even smaller. And of course, Hindenburg would still be stronger if they had the same auxiliaries. I would say their damage is pretty much on the same level against medium armor, and you're more likely to choose one based on the overall construction of your fleet, rather than choosing Hindenburg for the 1 or 2% more damage on average. More importantly than that is whether you need a tank or whether you're using Soyuz or Nakhimov, or both, which will more likely be the case than not against medium armor. Okay, that's pretty much it as far as Moskva's damage is concerned. I'd say she deals a little bit less damage against light and a little bit more against medium than I expected, but overall my estimation was reasonable. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.